So the BBC said Kate Middleton instead of Catherine, Princess of Wales. And apparently that was enough to send the Royalists into full emotional collapse. I mean, the outrage levels were so high you'd think someone had replaced the royal wreath with a Yankee candle. They're out here clutching pearls, crying treason, and demanding an apology from the BBC for calling a woman by, wait for it, her own name. You can't make this up. The same people who shout freedom of speech every time Piers Morgan goes off on one are now out here demanding BBC journalists be punished because they said Kate Middleton. Like, I'm sorry, are we still in 2025, or did we teleport back to some Tudor-era nonsense where uttering the wrong royal name gets you thrown in the tower? Let's just take a breath and appreciate the absurdity here. This is the same Kate who's been Kate Middleton for almost 2 decades in public life. The same name she used while dating William during the engagement, and even through their wedding coverage. Kate Middleton was practically the brand the media built for her. But now, suddenly, it's an insult? Oh, please. If Kate Middleton is a slur, then somebody call the dictionary because the Royalists have lost the plot. And let's not forget, when Diana was married to Charles, she was still called Diana Spencer by the press all the time. Nobody fainted. Nobody had to call MI5. Nobody declared war on the BBC. The same media that now claims Kate Middleton is disrespectful built Diana's global image around Diana Spencer. But somehow, when it's Kate, it's a crime. Make it make sense. It's the hypocrisy for me. They adored Diana being called by her maiden name because it made her seem relatable and down to earth. But when Kate gets the same treatment, suddenly it's blasphemy. The Royalists are literally proving what Meghan Sussex said all along. It's never about the rules, it's about who they choose to apply them to. You can just imagine the meltdown behind the palace gates. How dare they not use her full title? She is Her Royal Highness, the Princess of Wales. Meanwhile, the rest of the world is like, who cares, Barbara? She's still Kate. Like, honestly, who even knows her as Catherine? You could walk into a random pub in the UK and say, Catherine, Princess of Wales, and someone would probably ask, who? But say, Kate Middleton, and everyone instantly knows. It's branding, sweetheart. You can't escape it. That name made her famous. Without Kate Middleton, half the world wouldn't even know who Catherine was. And the funniest part? The BBC didn't even do it out of disrespect. They were just using the name everyone recognises. You know, like how people still say Prince Harry instead of Harry, Duke of Sussex. But somehow, the Royalists only find it offensive when it's Kate. When it's Meghan, they'll call her every name except her title. They'll twist Duchess into an insult, misname her on purpose and mock her in headlines. And they're fine with that. But say Kate Middleton once? The British media collapses into collective hysteria. I saw Royalists online screaming, "It's Catherine, not Kate." Girl, please. Even William calls her Kate. The man literally proposed to her saying, "Will you marry me, Kate?" The late Queen herself referred to her as Kate on multiple occasions. If the BBC calling her Kate Middleton is wrong, then half of Windsor Castle should be under investigation. And can we talk about the fact that this offence happened during Remembrance Day coverage? Like, they're supposed to be honouring fallen soldiers, and somehow the Royalists decided the biggest tragedy of the day was a presenter saying, Kate Middleton. The irony is so loud you can hear it echoing through the empty halls of Buckingham Palace. This is what happens when people elevate titles over humanity. The obsession with Her Royal Highness and Princess of Wales isn't about respect, it's about control. It's about keeping that invisible hierarchy alive where one slip of the tongue becomes an act of rebellion. The monarchy survives on ceremony and labels, so when someone says a simple name, just Kate Middleton, it threatens that illusion of divine importance. Because suddenly she sounds like, well, a normal person. And we can't have that, can we? And the Royalists online. Oh, they were typing through tears. The BBC should apologise, show some respect. Respect for what exactly? She married into a family that serves on taxpayer funds. Respect goes both ways. Maybe if the monarchy respected the people funding their lifestyle, we'd care more about the titles. But at this point, they should be grateful anyone still remembers their names at all. It's like watching a parody of privilege. Imagine being so insulated that your biggest problem is a journalist using your maiden name. The rest of the country is dealing with actual issues. But no, let's mobilise the royal defenders because Kate Middleton made it on a lower third graphic. Oh, the humanity. And here's the best part. Some royalists were saying it was sexist, that calling her Kate Middleton disrespects her role as William's wife. Baby, calling her by her own name is the least sexist thing ever. It's literally acknowledging her identity before the crown. You know what is sexist? Erasing a woman's name entirely because it doesn't fit your royal fantasy. The funniest thing about this is how the BBC quietly changed the headline from Kate Middleton to Catherine, Princess of Wales after the backlash, which just made it worse. Because now the royalists think they won, and the rest of us are like, you bullied the BBC over a name. It's giving spoiled child energy. And you know the irony? The royalists loved it when Meghan was misnamed and mocked. They've called her Rachel Markle, that woman, the actress, and every dog whistle in between. Nobody demanded an apology for that. But one mention of Kate Middleton, and it's DEFCON 1. You just have to laugh at how selective their outrage is. They always say, leave Kate alone, but the woman's name gets mentioned correctly, and suddenly she's being attacked. I'm sorry. If Kate Middleton counts as disrespect now, what do they call what Meghan went through? Because I remember the tabloids calling her Duchess Difficult, Megain, and Hurricane Meghan, and I don't recall a single royalist demanding those stop. It's the same double standard playing out again. Meghan gets crucified for existing, Kate gets canonised for breathing, and somehow we're all supposed to pretend this is normal. The BBC didn't do anything wrong. They said her name. The name she used for years. The name people know her by. The name that built her public image. If that's offensive, maybe the problem isn't the media. Maybe it's the royal bubble that can't handle reality. And honestly, if you really think about it, it's symbolic. Diana was Diana Spencer. Kate is Kate Middleton. Meghan is Meghan Sussex. You see the evolution there? The women who actually connect with people, who exist as individuals, aren't defined by titles. They're defined by presence. The royalists can try to erase that all they want, but the people remember who they are, by name. So cry harder, royalists. The BBC didn't disrespect anyone. They just reminded the world that beneath the tiaras and titles, she's still Kate Middleton from Bucklebury. The same woman who waited a decade for a ring. The same woman the press once mocked as Weighty Katie. Now suddenly the same press that built her up can't use her name. Please. You can't rewrite history just because the title changed. At the end of the day, this meltdown says more about the royalists than about Kate herself. They need her to stay Her Royal Highness, because without those titles, their fantasy collapses. Because if Kate is just Kate, then what even is the monarchy anymore? Anyway, that's enough drama for one day. The royalists are busy lighting candles in protest, and the BBC newsroom is probably triple-checking every headline now. But to the rest of us, we'll keep saying it loud and proud, Kate Middleton, because that's her name. And if they're crying over that, well, pass the tissues and the popcorn.